Alright, what's going on, everybody? It is time for my worst 10 movies of the year 2017. That's right, my list of 10 movies that were the worst movies released in the year 2017. A few things to know, just like in my best of, I'm not sure which one I'm releasing first. So I think I'll just let everybody know again. There's going to be movies on my list that you don't agree with. You're like, those were great movies, or those were movies you didn't understand, Mike, so they shouldn't be on your list, or maybe they would be higher up on your list than they were on my list. You thought they were bad, but not equally as bad as I thought. My point is, your list is going to be different than my list, but if it is different from my list, you need to put that in the comment section down below so we can talk about it. And also, understand that I did not get to see every single movie this year. I am a dad, and I have worked a full-time job, so I saw as many movies as I could, and then compiled a list of 10 and 10 that I liked and didn't like. So this is my 10 worst movies of the year 2017. Oh, but before I get to that, we need to do honorable mentions. So let's do them. Honorable mention number 1, The Dark Tower. The Dark Tower just kind of fell flat, and that's why it's not in my top 10 worst movie list, but it definitely should be close to it. And so I'm going to say The Dark Tower just kind of fell flat. Matthew McConaughey didn't thrill me. Idris Elba didn't thrill me, and the story overall was just like, okay, there's a tower, and when it falls, the world falls out. I fell asleep once, I was like, nah, I'm out. So, Dark Tower. The next one on this list is another horror movie, and this one is Rings. Rings came out, and after the first two movies, Rings 1 and Rings 2, those were really fun horror movies, if I'm remembering them correctly. I haven't seen them in a long time, but Rings, I was like, okay, let's give it a shot, and I believe Vincent D'Onofrio was in that as the bad guy. That's part of my problem, because the bad guy should be the green girl. This movie sucked. I'm not even talking about it anymore. It's not on my list because there's worse movies, but this movie sucked. And finally, honorable mentions for worst movies of the year, and this is more of just most disappointed movie of the year, and that is Kingsman Chapter 2, or Kingsman Part 2, or Kingsman 2, or The Golden Circle, whatever the hell. What a waste of time. Just what a letdown. The first movie was so good. This has shades of Kick-Ass. That's how much of a letdown it is. Because the Kick-Ass 1 was so good and Kick-Ass 2 was like, they made a second. And that's how Kingsman was. Kingsman was so incredibly good. And Kingsman 2 was like, okay, they made a second one. And Elton John's in it like 90 times. No, we get the Elton John jokes. Oh, no, we get the Elton John jokes. Oh, you're going to show us Elton John again because he's so funny and old and irrelevant. And so, that's my point. Didn't make the top 10 list, but man, it was close. So what did make the top 10 list? Let's find out right now. Coming in at number 10 is another movie that is more of a disappointment than it is anything else, and that is Baby Driver. I'm going to get a last slack for that because a lot of people liked Baby Driver. A lot of people loved Baby Driver, until Kevin Spacey and that whole thing that happened there. But throwing the Kevin Spacey thing aside and just talking about the movie as a whole, the first hour, maybe even hour and a half, I loved. This movie was so fun and so different, and I loved it. And then, spoilers, the director was like, what if we just kill everybody? Yeah, we'll kill everybody. And they looked at him and they were like, everybody? He's like, well, not Baby, obviously. I mean, we'll send him to jail for 25 years, but we'll kill everybody else. And somebody said that was okay. Like, somebody looked at the script and they were like, I like the movie, but what if we just kill everybody at the end because we don't know what to do with our characters? Like, seriously, they kill Kevin Spacey, they kill Jamie Foxx, they kill John Hamm, they kill John Hamm's girlfriend, they kill as many people as they can. The only person they don't kill is John Bernthal, and the only reason they don't kill John Bernthal is because he's only in 5 minutes of the freaking movie. 5 minutes. I saw the preview. The preview for Baby Driver is still one of my favorite previews of all time, but when I went and saw this movie, John Bernthal, who was in almost the whole preview, was in a total of maybe 5 minutes of the movie, and that was it. And then let's talk about Baby Driver, from the movie Baby Driver. Baby is a really cool idea because he's this kid who, after doing this awesome heist and can get as the getaway driver and he's awesome, he can just go to Starbucks and order coffee and no one suspects him, right? Except now he went to jail for 25 years. And then the director's like, yeah, I'm thinking about part 2. What's he gonna do now? He's in jail for 25 years. And I don't know if that end sequence was him getting out of jail, but it wasn't getting out of jail in 25 years because he still was young. So Baby Driver, you deserve to be on this list, but because of the hour and a half of greatness that you were, you're only at number 10. The number 9 movie on my list is the movie Lego Batman. And Lego Batman was a huge disappointment. Understand this, I am a huge Batman fan. I love everything there is about Batman. I own most of everything there is about Batman. Batman is my favorite superhero, and I hold it very dear to my heart. I even like the George Clooney Batman a little bit. My point is, I'm willing to give anything Batman a shot. And yes, I understand I'm wearing a Superman shirt in this video, but that's because my Batman shirt is dirty and in the wash, and I didn't want to wash it, so here I am wearing a Batman or a Superman shirt. Moving on though, the Lego Batman movie is boring. It's not funny. It's not fun. It just took everything I liked about Batman and was like, here's Batman! And I was like, maybe my kids will like this in a couple of years. But for me, I turned it off. Like, I didn't even finish it. Oh, Mike, you didn't finish the movie? No, it didn't hold my attention. It couldn't. I was done. And I like cartoons. I do. And I like the Lego movie. I couldn't get behind this. This movie was bad. So that's why it's on this list. And moving on to number 8. And my number 8 worst movie of the year is XXX3. This movie sucked. I really like the original XXX. XXX2, State of the Union, I don't own it. When Netflix gets the rights and they put it on Netflix, sometimes I watch it. It's not the worst thing I've ever seen. It's, stupid. But wow, this movie was bad. And it shouldn't be watched again. Ruby Rose did damage to this movie. As good as she was in John Wick Chapter 1, or Chapter 2, excuse me, she made this movie bad. She made this movie a very bad movie, and so did everyone else in this, including Vin Diesel. Don't make any more XXX movies, and if you haven't seen this, stay away from it. XXX3 sucked. My number 7 movie on this list is a comedy, and a comedy you'd think, okay, well, you're expecting a comedy, but I'm expecting a comedy from Will Ferrell and Rafi from The League. I can't think of the guy's name, to be honest with you. But honestly, here we go. We got this movie, and it's got all the right people, and it's got all the right ideas, and they're going to do this gambling house. And then I heard Jeremy Renner's in the movie, and I'm like, okay, let's do it. And man, this movie sucked. Yeah, I mean, there was like a whole, both the mom and dad and the girl and their daughter and her friends were all high moment, and it just wasn't funny. I expect more from Will Ferrell. In fact, I expect the funniest movie of the year from Will Ferrell, and I didn't get that. I got a thrown together thug life parents movie. I don't know. It was not good. It was not good. Moving on. And the number 6 movie on my list is another comedy. Understand, I hold comedy in high regard. I love the Wedding Crashers movie. I love Office Space. I'm a huge fan of actual comedy. But then we got Fist Fight. And Fist Fight stars Ice Cube and Charlie Day. Don't get me wrong, Charlie Day is fantastic in It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. Charlie Day is fantastic in a lot of other things. He was even great in Pacific Rim. Ice Cube is funny. Everything he does. He can act too. But they threw these two guys in a movie about a fist fight. And wow, this movie sucked. A lot. I don't even want to talk about it again. Moving on. My number 5 movie. We're in the top 5 of the worst movies of the year. And I tell you, my rage is going to get a little more extreme for these last 5 because these really sucked. Number 5. Flatliners. Flatliners was a movie where I saw the preview and I was like, I never saw the original and this one looks good. Let's give it a chance. And then I heard it was really bad, and I was like, no, I'm still going to give it a chance. And then I found out it was really bad. This movie was boring. Like, that's the worst part of it. It's not the scariness wasn't good. This movie was boring, and in the end, it was about your forgiving yourself for stuff. And I'm going to give it away. So again, if you want to watch spoilers, maybe turn the video off now. But honestly, Flatliners gave this storyline where you can forgive others, but they can forgive you, but you have to forgive yourself for the horrible things you've done. Well, if I haven't done a horrible thing and I do this whole shock thing, does that just mean nothing happens to me, or what happens to me? It's weird. It's not good. Ugh. At number 4, another comedy. Comedy just wasn't done well in the year 2017, and this movie proves it. Dax Shepard wrote and directed this movie, and honestly, I lost a lot of credibility because I really liked Dax Shepard before I saw this movie, and then I saw Chips. Oh boy, Michael Pena and Dax Shepard are 2 cops, and they have to solve a drug ring of bad guys who were cops, and Vincent D'Onofrio And, oh, God, that was really bad. It left a bad taste in my mouth, bad. Like, when I got done watching this movie, I was like, why did I watch this movie? This was really bad. The jokes weren't funny. It's a comedy. Like, could the jokes have been funny? I didn't even laugh. That's how bad this was. Moving on. Number 3, another comedy. I know, my best of list is full of superheroes and my worst of list is full of comedies. But you gotta understand, comedies have to be funny. Just like superheroes have to have superheroes that do cool things, comedies have to be funny. And so when you tell me you've got The Rock and you've got Zac Efron, who was great in Neighbors, in this comedy, and it's Baywatch, here we go. And I'm excited. And I watched this movie and I was just like, ugh. Get away from me. Like, just, this was bad. I don't know why The Rock said such nice things about it, but it made me not go see Jumanji. I'm going to wait till it's on DVD. I know a lot of people said Jumanji's good, but honestly, I can't trust The Rock on social media now. This movie burned me. This movie burned me. So, I'm going to wait till this one's out on DVD. Does a good job? Guess what? Okay, I'll go see the next Rock comedy movie. But till then, I'm going to back off, because he promised Baywatch was going to be great. He promised. And it sucked. My number 2 worst movie of the year, and it really was difficult, and I literally just switched them up because both of these movies sucked so bad. But it's a horror movie. My number 2 movie is The Bye-Bye Man. The Bye-Bye Man was a fun premise, I thought, and then it wasn't. It was just horrible. The Bye-Bye Man, you can't say his name, and if you think it or you talk about him, then you'll think about the Bye-Bye Man, he'll show up, and for the most part, he's just like this coat in the corner of the room for the entire movie, and it's like, oh, that's scary. I hope that a figure doesn't come out of that coat. Oh, a figure came out of that coat. Oh no, a figure came out of the coat. Let's all be scared. And then, like, it's written on a drawer because someone thought it, and so they wrote it, and so someone else would see it and say it, and then they would just perpetuate the nonsense. I should have known better than to go see a scary movie in January, but I did it, and it was Bye-Bye Man. Very disappointed. I'm very disappointed. And the number 1 worst movie of the year, guys, the number 1 worst movie of the year starred one of my favorite actors, Tom Cruise. That's right. I didn't see American Made, so it has to be The Mummy. Yeah, I wanted to see American Made and never got a chance, so I'm just kind of waiting to catch that at some point. But I did see The Mummy. Yeah, that shit pile of a movie. The Mummy didn't have a good storyline. The Mummy didn't have good acting. And The Mummy, I loved the idea going in. If you're going to have a woman mummy, I loved there were little hints dropped in and out of the movie of like possible connections to the 1999 Brendan Fraser Mummy. I liked that, but this movie was bad. They tried to cram the entire Universal Cinematic Monsterverse into the making of this movie. They tried to say, look, we're going to do a monster universe, and now you're going to see how we're going to do a monsterverse. And we all watched this movie, and we were like, oh, that's how you're going to do a monsterverse? And then we're like, no, we're not doing a monsterverse. We pulled back for now. That's right, The Mummy single-handedly stopped a franchise before it even got going. It's like if Iron Man 1 came out and Marvel was like, we're going to do the Avengers. And everyone was like, oh, that sucked. And they were like, we're not doing Avengers. Did we say Avengers? We don't mean Avengers. We're not doing Avengers. That's what Universal did. When this movie came out, it did so badly and people didn't like it so much that it single-handedly killed a franchise before it got going. The Mummy stopped what could have been a fantastic monster universe. Something that when I was a kid, I watched all those old black and white movies. The Invisible Man, they're talking about, we cast Johnny Depp as the Invisible Man and Javier Bardem as Frankenstein. And they already had The Bride of Frankenstein picked out, and they already had Wolfman picked out, and oh my gosh, here we go. And then The Mummy hit, and it was like, oh, yeah, we weren't planning like a universe or anything. We just thought this movie was good. You didn't like it? I'm glad we weren't planning anything else. Look over there. That's what this movie did. The Mummy is the worst movie of 2017. And guys, if you liked this worst of 2017 video, hit the like button and hit the share button so you can show your friends. If you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, you should, because content is coming out fast. And finally, if you disagreed with my list, you need to put that in the comment section down below like I told you earlier. And if you agreed with my list, but maybe you'd throw them in a different order, do that, because I'd like to know if we agree on things. So, That's all I got. Thanks for watching.